he was taken away. I thought, yeah, that's easier said than done. Meanwhile, the small man with the revolver had returned. He sat down opposite me at Pep's desk and rang for an extra van. They hadn't expected to find so many people. He left the door open. In the hall, I heard the German issuing orders. Finally, I recognized the accent. He spoke with a Viennese accent. I was born in Vienna. I came here at the age of 11. I've completely assimilated. When I heard that, I thought I've got one chance. I'm going to take it. And I did take it. He marched in. Before he could utter a word, I stood erect. Germans are accustomed to that. I said, "You're from Vienna?" "Me too." I said it rather cheerfully. The man was shocked so utterly that he just stood there, staring. He could never have imagined that he would meet a fellow Austrian here. He closed the door and rounded on me. He was hunched. He was going to let me have it. He said, "Papers." I gave them to him, identity papers. He looked at them, thrashed them against my face, and started to swear. "Have you no shame helping Jewish scum? You're a traitor to your country. Your crime demands the highest penalty. I think you know what that is." I didn't answer. What's the point of speaking to someone like that? I stood at attention. He seethed with anger. He paced the length of the room, swearing at me, but I didn't respond. At a certain moment, he paused. He sized me up with a more mild gaze and said, "As far as I'm concerned, you can stay. But if you ever leave, we'll seize your husband." I made a blunder then, but it came out all right. I was so angry that I said, "You keep your hands off my husband. He's got nothing to do with this. It's my affair." He said, "Don't be so foolhardy. He's up to his neck in this." He said, "I'm leaving now, but I'll be back to check if you're still here." I thought, "You can be bloody sure I will. I'm staying come what may." The thing was, I understood what Kleiman had meant. Miep, see that you stay out of it. Salvage what you can here. If one Christian remained in a house where the Jews had been, only the property of the Jews was removed. Christian property remained intact. So the business remained intact. The stocks and the equipment remained. Otherwise, 4 days later, everything would have been appropriated as the house was closed. The thought was, if she stays, the business can be saved. It was August of 1944. Anyone of any intelligence could see that the Germans were losing the war. I don't know what went on in the annex, since I was obliged to stay at my desk. He closed the door and departed. Later, I heard them all trudging down the stairs. In the interim, they were allowed to pack, and then they descended the stairs. I couldn't go to the window. I was compelled to stay here. I did so. We went upstairs then, to the Franks' bedroom. Pep and I saw lying on the ground the pages of Anne's diary. We saw scattered pages. That's Anne's diary. Gather it up, I said. Pep just stood there gawking. I said, "Pick it up. Pick it up. Take it." We preserved it as carefully as possible. We were stunned. We gathered it together and went downstairs. I said, "What now, Beb?" She said, "You're the oldest. You should keep it." I said, "Okay." I took it and put it in my desk. I locked up, or at least closed, the door. And that's where it remained until Mr. Frank returned. That winter was particularly cruel. North Holland had been cut off by the Germans. Still, one had to manage to find food. People would scrounge for food in any way they could. Liberation Day. We took newspapers and old rags to the Rijnstraat and set them alight. We danced and staggered around. We embraced complete strangers. Such was our joy at being liberated. We were hopeful then. Because of his work for the city, Jan was posted at the station. His job was to register those returning from the concentration camps. He asked everyone, "Do you have any news of Mr. Frank?" No, no, no. Then one evening, Jan came home and said, "I got good news for you, Miep. Otto's on his way here." We lived on the ground floor. We stared outside. He scarcely said it when Mr. Frank approached and rang the doorbell. I ran to the door. He came in. I said, "Where's Edith?" "Edith won't be coming back. I still have hope for the children." You can imagine how happy we were to have him back. I always sorted the post in the office and brought it to him. I sorted it and gave him what I had. He took it. Suddenly an icy silence descended, a silence which still speaks. I looked up. He'd gone bone white. He gave me this letter. Here, read it. "I hereby declare that Anne Frank and Margot Frank perished in the camp Bergen-Belsen, where I worked as a nurse. Mrs. M. Brandes Brillers Slijper." I stood up then. And opened my desk drawer. I gathered up every volume of the diary and presented them to Mr. Frank with the words, "This is the legacy of your daughter, Anne." Time and again he would say to me, "Miep, come here. Look at what that child has written." That was troublesome for me. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't stand to read it. I was afraid. I don't know why. I said, "Sure, I'm coming."